can do in terms of getting this in color. We may have to go black and white. I've got it working before, but I have something to do with HDMI. Alright. We're gonna get this going real soon. Okay. I'm hoping that you guys can hear what is going on my end. But we will see. Splits up and ready. So I'm just gonna get into the game here. This run, I can't see how anything goes wrong, but as I say that, something's probably gonna swoop in and mess her all up. But we will see. Just make sure we get everything. Yep, loaded in correctly. Let me move my splits on my screen so I can see what's going on. I may need to. Oh, you guys are seeing that happen too. So I'm gonna put that here. Do a couple other things for quality control, and then we will get started with this run. Hopefully it only goes about 2.5 hours, but likely this is going to trend more towards 3. We don't have lag as a factor, but we do have the fact that I'm explaining stuff, kind of messing with it a little bit. It shouldn't be terrible though. So this is being run on hero mode, because that allows us to do 3 things really. We are allowed to skip past a bunch of cutscenes that tell us, like, oh, all the story and all that stuff that we really don't need. It's filler. And then we also have double damage that we take, which is very nice. But we are going to get started here in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Hopefully this one does not crash. So we'll skip through a couple of the opening cutscenes, see where that gets us. Well, I know where that's going to go. But for the first thing we're going to do here, we're going to go out, talk to Fledge, because talking to Fledge sets a story flag that when we are in the back in time glitch down in the sealed grounds, it lowers a little log for us to give ourselves a boost so that we can get behind the temple faster. And if none of that makes sense, it will later on. I will point out the log that is lowered. And typically that is whenever I have File 2 active during the glitch. And I just want to check that you guys can hear well, and that you are not hearing both that you can hear me and the game audio. If not, I may need to make a couple adjustments. It's better to do that within the first 5 minutes, so that I don't have to stop and do something 30 minutes in. So here our professor's just going to tell us, congratulations, you're playing in hero mode. And give us basic things like how to target people, to talk to them, how to jump in this game, get around things, parkour, all that fun stuff. He wants us to talk to him again. We're gonna go save here and head on over. Okay, you can hear. Good. And head on over to the killing post. You can probably take a guess as to what happens here. We fall off immediately, losing about 15 seconds, which is exactly what we wanted. No, but typically that is the fastest place that we can go to in order to die, which allows us to activate back in time, which is an integral part to... about stamina for here. Integral part to the run. No. Here. Yes. Up. Take damage. Now, normally we'd take 1 heart, but we're on hero mode, so it's sped up very nicely. Get centered. Off. Nearly there. Okay. And now back in time, for the 2 of you that are here, you probably already know how this works, but you reset and continue in the same frame. And we get to continue playing, just like hitting the continue button allows us to, while on the main menu, which is what the reset button tells us to do. And here we are going to copy file 1 over into file 3, because we need some data on there to corrupt, and we corrupt a file by deleting a file and then while doing that, saving it. Normally this isn't possible because in order to delete a file you have to be on the main menu. In order to save a file you have to be in game. But since we have both open, we're allowed to do that. Delete, dock here, save over it, and now it's essentially saved nothing. There is no health there, no real data. We're gonna save file 1 here so that we have access to Skyward layer 1, or layer 0 rather. So now what that allows us to do is Zelda has disappeared entirely and the goddess statue is open. That allows us to get the the goddess sword. So we'll be coming up on that split real quick here. And pull it out. And the third thing that Master Mode gives us, or Hero Mode rather, is it allows us to have a powered up Skyward Strike, both higher damage and faster charge time. So you saw that there. If you're not familiar with the normal mode for the game, trust me, it is much faster and therefore much more useful for combat. So we are going to raise this pedestal here, but not put the emerald tablet in that we got from Phi, because we still have a couple things we need to do. If we put that tablet in, we would not be able to go get our bird, and therefore we would not be able to fly to the surface. So here we are going to meet Zelda. And not really care at all about what she has to say, so we're going to skip past all that. Apparently her bird got hurt or something. We don't really need that bird. That bird's fine. Leave it. I'm worried about stamina fruit again. And now we're going to go see our pal, Groose. Now, Groose is very important to the end of this run, because it is a cutscene of his that allows us to raise the Gate of Time and go to the past where the final boss is. But right now he's just being a big bully, taking our bird, and we don't quite enjoy that, so we're gonna skip past him as well. Make our way over to the cave where the Loftwing is. And now that I'm not running on a computer, you're going to see a lot more rolls and smaller movement things in order to make it a little bit faster. Because I don't have lag to deal with. Also, if you guys have any questions about how anything works throughout this, I can see it pop up on my screen. So I'll be happy to explain as long as I'm not in some terribly difficult section. And here we're going to see Zelda for the last time in a long time here. And next time I do promise I will have the, I'll have color for the stream. I had it when I tested this out, but apparently it just doesn't want to work now. Alright, get our bird, and now it's going to give us a little tutorial on how we fly him, though I'm pretty sure I can handle myself with a bird. I've played this a couple times. We're going to see these text boxes a couple of times throughout the run, because when we do back in time and try to go down to the Farron region in order to get different flags put onto different files, we actually enter this portion of the sky, which the game thinks we're doing for the first time. And so Zelda's here to give us pointers on how to fly around, but really we're just heading for the Elden Pillar, which will appear around here. You can see that little circle down there. It's not very pronounced. Zelda's going to try to take us back to Skyward here, but we don't really want to do that. We've got what we need. We have the bird, so we can save and quit. And the way we get out of going back with Zelda is opening up that file 3 that we corrupted from earlier, which will allow us to do back in time. And we fall right into the statue. Okay. Now here, we want file 1 on file 2, because having a file on file 2 with Skyloft as the save point sets a certain flag when we bonk that tree that also opens up that gate up here, so we don't have to fall off the ledge and respawn past it every time. And you might think that we're saving here to go in there again, but no. We can just head on in with file. And this one takes a little bit of concentration. So we start, and then with the void out, we go in, and here we are in the statue. Because we changed locations as the file was loading, it overwrote the location on where it was starting and put us inside the statue. This is one of those unskippable cutscenes, so get right past here. And then we're gonna wake up in green clothes. And normally we'd have, in some other routes, we would skip this cutscene here. But I am not a good enough of a button masher to skip a 2-frame window. And I really need this adventure pouch. We get some nice things like a fairy in a bottle, a potion, and a shield. I gain a lot more time from doing this because I lose a lot of time without a shield. It's not super essential until we hit Girahim, the boss of the first dungeon. We can get by the Lysophos as the mini-bosses of the second temple. And then once we get to Demise, the final boss, as you can see down there in the splits, I can beat him without the shield, but there's a lot of room for error there. And we're getting the shield here for free. If we had to go around and get money for it, then I would have to make do without. That would just be too much time loss. Fi is just gonna finish pretty much with the tutorial stuff, telling us that we can buy shields, potions, change our interface, but again, that takes time, so I will amble by with the default interface. I quite like seeing that Wiimote on my screen. And a little bird bomb for good luck. We're actually going to be diving into this pillar early in order to skip a cutscene trigger where Fi tells us that there is indeed a pillar of light in front of us. Bye, thanks for tuning in. So we're just going to skydive right over here until we get to Fair. Let's see. There we go. And we will be hearing this music quite a bit. This really only plays the first time that you ever go down to the surface. But the thing that we try to do earlier with the going into the Elden Pillar and back in time to get down here, it's going to play that every time. Here we see the sealed grounds, which we'll be coming right back to for the final boss sequence. And here I know there is a strat for rolling past these guys, but I do not feel confident in that. And I lose more time by getting hit than I do killing these guys. Because I need all my health in order to jump off and not die when I get to the bottom. Because running down is way too slow, and getting the sailcloth would have required me to go through everything we skip with Zelda up there, so it's just not worth it. We take the damage. So for everyone here, how are we doing tonight? I'm open to answering any questions that you guys have. I may have to get to them during a part that's not as difficult, but I will get to them. And here Fi is going to give us our last real tutorial on dowsing, which we can use to find Zelda if we don't know where she already is, which I do. No, I would not, Fi. Thank you. And fun fact, the wheels there for choosing dowsing targets actually read dowsing in the language for this game. Now we get to meet Impa in the sealed grounds. I'm gonna grab a potion from her, talk to her. She'll tell us about beacons in the map, and then set us off to go find Zelda, who apparently fell down here. Not a very good bird flyer. Nice thing about this revitalizing potion is, if at the end of the run I've taken any damage to my shield, which is the flimsiest shield in the game, I can repair it somewhat. And the difference between a full strength shield for demise and a shield with one hit left is incredible. I mess up the time once, I have to go with the shieldless strat, which I am not very consistent with. Just going to give us a little bit of backstory. If you guys aren't familiar with the story of this, this is the origin of the Legend of Zelda series. Everything that's set in motion, the whole timeline. Zelda falls from the sky because some demon's like, hey, I need you to resurrect this other demon, and we'll fight the guy that brought her down from the sky in a little bit here. But Impa's here to guide the way and protect Zelda, who is simultaneously stuck in a stasis sleep behind her through those doors. Oh, how did I miss that? And I just realized I messed up that split with the tablet. That should have happened when I went into the pillar. But that's fine, that's okay. Now this whole next section is going to be all about getting the slingshot, which we need in order to get to Skyview Temple, which is one of the only two dungeons that we legitimately, well, not even legitimately do. We don't legitimately do any dungeon in this run, but we actually go through this dungeon and only really see 3 of them. That's where the beacon is. And here is where Skyward Strike comes in handy. We get a couple guys all at once. Perfect. And now Gorko's going to introduce himself to us. Gorons here are usually far more numerous in the later games, but there's only 2 that we ever see in Skyward Sword. I'm not entirely sure why that is, but I'm sure there's good reason. He's going to tell us about these bird statues that we save at and use to use back in time. Again, any questions on how stuff works or just anything in general, I'm more than happy to answer. So now we've activated all the statues on the surface. We're going to head back into Fair Woods. We're rolling this log up. We're gonna be rolling this log into place a couple more times this run. Welcome to Fair Woods. If you recognize the name, yes, that is what I named myself because I love nature. And we are gonna check this statue so that we can fly here later on in the run when we're getting ready to do the final bit magic to open the gate. Some little avocado dude on the ground we're gonna save. He's dead. And now we're actually going to save this guy twice in this game. So these little guys are called Kikwees. We have to go and find 4 of them in order to have their elder give us the slingshot. So that's what the next 5-ish minutes are going to be about. Finding them, putting them down on the map, and having Bucha, their elder, freak out about where they are until they're okay. And just for reference, we should be finishing the first temple at around 45 to 50 minutes. Can't remember exactly which. It's been a little while since I've actually made it that far in a run due to my computer crashing on me. But we won't have that problem this time because this is coming from the Wii U. Also, if you guys will notice, once we get out of here, I am on 3 things are going to be making quite a bit of a racket. I'm on low health, so that alarm will be going off. I have not yet used dowsing, so that prompt will be beeping at me. We'll always try it once, but that wastes time, so we're not going to do it. And then we have Phi telling us to, again, use dowsing. So her little jingle is going to be going off. But it's nice because we have the music of Fair Woods drowning that out. It's very important that we do not take damage from this point on in the run until we hit the insides of Skyview Temple, because that just makes it much much slower to actually die when we need to be back in time. I wonder where the Elder is. He seems to be pretty good at hiding. I don't know if I'll ever find him. Thank God I can find the balance on these again. Now, the difference between this and any world record runs you might see is I am doing a different route because those routes rely on a lot of RNG. There's a 25% chance, even when you do a very difficult trick correctly, that it will actually do what you need it to. And that is something I'm going to attempt once I finally have the slingshot. I'm going to the deep woods. But I'll explain that once we get a little bit closer. At this point, they'd already be inside of Skyview Temple. But then they do reset their runs quite a bit to RNG. I'm gonna knock him down right here. This one's name is Lopsa. But the best one of these Kiklis is coming up. His name is Erla, and he is wonderful to be around. This vine that we just got down. And we're gonna go. I know that earlier you guys said that you could hear my voice. Can you guys hear the game audio as well? That just occurred to me. Lawn cutting, because Erlo likes to hide in the grass. He's got a nice little mustache on. However, now we have to save possibly the most insufferable of all the Kiklis, Hula, who I'm not a huge fan, but it must be done. He's got a mohawk. Look at him. He thinks he looks so cool. Alright, but now we're gonna go back a way that we came. We can't go back up that hole that we dropped down, but we can go back up that slope to the Elder, wherever he might be. Definitely couldn't see him earlier. These guys are pretty dumb. They don't follow me after like 5 meters. Oh! That was bad timing. That should have saved the fact that I know where the Kiklis are. if it puts me back to... No, yeah. Machi's safe, so we're good. That's gonna add about a minute to our time, but nothing too outrageous. That is going to make our future deaths a little bit slower. And running out. Not used to timing that stamina wheel there. Also, question, is there any other runs you guys would like to see in the future? I am now in possession of a GameCube, so I can... I was about to say it legally, but within the rules of the speedrunning community, I can run GameCube games, because they don't like emulating. Here's the Elder. I don't know how I found him, since he's so great at hiding. But he's gonna give us a slingshot for fighting everybody. Pew pew. Getting quite excited about the HD remake for this game, though I'm not sure I'm gonna get it because I only use this game for speedrunning at this point, and the one thing that the Switch lacks is a reset button, which we need for Back in Time, which is the majority of all the skips in this run. There's the slingshot. We never get any refills on pellets here, so we need to be pretty accurate. Unlike that. That'll work. Jump right off. And we will see this this path to the deep woods once more in the run. This is again one of our reverse bit magics that we'll be going through. When we do this a second time, it'll be to spawn in the Thunder Dragon in the Neighbor Gorge. But I will reiterate that once we're actually at that point. We're going to the deep woods, but appears that somebody is spying on us. We'll fight him in a little bit. He doesn't get away. Alright, so the trick we're trying to set up here, we want to stun this guy first so he doesn't set off any alarms. But what we do here is we want to stun this guy. Pellet. Okay. What we want to get him to do is bounce on the ledge there, which lets me go for a finishing blow on him, which involves me leaping over and stabbing him, but also having him fall off the ledge after kind of bouncing on it. which would send me to the origin of this map, which is right in front of Temple. Oh, that's gonna be a bit weird. Oh, okay. We're gonna give it another try. That was also an awkward angle. We're gonna... Come on.